To the Labour Party, its MPs and members. We have reported Jeremy Corbyn for bringing your party into disrepute. This is why. When Jeremy Corbyn was confronted about his defence of the Brick Lane mural, he lied. He said he hadn't looked closely enough at it, but what he so precisely wrote, comparing the removal of Lenin's image by Rockefeller to its proposed mirror image, the removal by Tower Hamlets of its capitalist equivalent, represented as hook-nosed Jewish bankers, leaves absolutely no doubt that he had digested the mural's message in full. That was no casual glance. Still, a glance should have been enough for anyone, let alone a politician, to see it was a vile piece of neo-Nazi-esque anti-Semitism and leave it well alone. But Jeremy Corbyn didn't leave it alone. He took the trouble not just to endorse it, but to challenge its removal by demanding to know why. We told you years ago about the mural, Labour, but you refused to listen. In fact, we have constantly alerted you to other similarly revealing actions by him in supporting blood libellers, Holocaust deniers and genocidal anti-Semites, or in characterising Jewish complaints of anti-Semitism as being mendaciously motivated. We've even submitted a disciplinary complaint about him before to you, which you didn't even dignify with a response. But, as you keep telling us, Jeremy is an honourable man. Well, in the last few weeks, that honourable man has now been outed as a member of at least 3 Facebook groups, shown to be little more than anti-Semitic cesspits. In the case of Palestine Live, he converses openly in threads loaded with anti-Semitism, with people who openly propagate the worst Jew hate imaginable. We exclusively revealed that he lied, again, when he said he didn't know the founder and admin of that group, perhaps because he knew she was also openly friendly there with Holocaust deniers, such as his old friend Paul Eisen, and saw that she shared posts claiming, for example, that Jewish values could be considered to be massacre, rape, torture, sex trafficking and child abuse. After the party failed to expel his old friend Ken Livingstone, 107 of you Labour MPs signed a statement saying that his repeated claims that Hitler was supporting Zionism was insidious racism that would not go unchecked. Jeremy Corbyn said then that he would ask the NEC to launch a further inquiry into Ken Livingstone. He not only lied, again, but you Labour MPs betrayed us, because 11 months later it was clear you had broken your vow to not let this go unchecked, and that inquiry had vanished. So Labour, how can you be a credible opposition when you are now so compromised by racism? How do you make the case for the poor and oppressed when you have lost all claim to the moral high ground? This is an existential moment for you. As a formerly proud Labour member myself, I feel embarrassed to see the state of you now. I was brought up, as I'm sure many of you in Labour were, to beware the following set of circumstances: an economic recession, the emergence of a populist leader with an anti-Semitic cult following who rises to power, and the inexorable flow downwards to an increase in anti-Semitic abuse and then violence. And that sequence is no fable. It is Jewish history on repeat, and it's happening now as year on year we register a rise in anti-Semitic crimes. My own cousin was inside the synagogue in Copenhagen when their family friend was gunned down at the synagogue gates. This is the reality of life for Jews in Europe now. Our synagogues and schools have to be protected at all times by the highest levels of security. And now, incredibly, it's you, the Labour Party, that stand a good way through that horribly well-worn historical process. What's in the bistro today will be in the beer cellar tomorrow, and that is not hyperbole, it is history repeating, and you Labour Party MPs and decent members need to stop it in its tracks now. What the hard evidence from the Palestine Live group proves beyond doubt is that Jeremy Corbyn is comfortable in the company of anti-Semitic conspiracy theorists. His reaction to the mural tells us why. So, we are at the point of no return. Future generations are watching. support our disciplinary complaint against Jeremy Corbyn. To be silent is to condone.